What is up, fanboys and fangirls? I am the SMT Sneed Mobile Tech, and I'm filling in for Technoid this week. Mike's taking a break. He's got a nice little thing happening, and we're happy to see him getting the time off. So I'm going to be giving you some Apple news today. Stick around for the video. We've got some funny and interesting stories, and all of that starts right now. Alright, so starting with the first story, this one is kind of weird, and I'm going to give people some help, some advice moving forward in the future. Alright, so the story goes, an Apple store in Alderwood Mall was burglarized last week. The store was infiltrated through a nearby or neighboring coffee shop. The thieves broke into the coffee shop, then busted through the bathroom, cut a hole through the wall to get into the Apple store's back storage room. The burglars were then able to bypass the Apple Store's security system by using the coffee shop, stealing a total of 436 iPhones. I guess a net worth of about $500,000. So here's the thing, folks. When people steal iPhones, they can be blacklisted, first of all. They can be bricked remotely, second of all. And third of all, they're basically just going to be turned into parts-only phones. I'm not really sure what these thieves were thinking, but it almost doesn't make sense to do this. The risk by far outweighs what you're actually getting out of these phones. That value for those phones is the retail value. That is not the street value when those phones can't be used as phones anymore. So this is kind of stupid, but we hear and see these stories all the time. Some thieves are just too dumb for their own good, not even worth the squeeze. Really stupid by those thieves. Moving on to this next story. This one is interesting because it kind of violates what we know about Apple. Traditionally, Apple devices are usually going to be supported for a long time. Several years is very common. So Apple is reportedly going to discontinue services for some of the older devices. Here are some of the details based on this report. According to the story, Apple is going to be shutting down services for iOS 11 operating system based devices. Alright, so they're going to be basically no longer supporting any of those iOS 11 functionalities. macOS, High Sierra, watchOS 4, and tvOS 11 operating systems, all of them with the exception of iCloud, are going to become no longer served. So that means that devices running iOS 11, macOS High Sierra, watchOS 4, and tvOS 11 will lose support for all services that Apple offers. Just the iCloud will continue to be supported. Now, this is just based on a tipster, so I don't want to say it's official news, but just be on the lookout for this. We have to wait for an official declaration from Apple. They'll put out some kind of a little news thing or bulletin, but it kind of sucks because one of the things that we've always known about Apple is long-term support. Holding on to devices is usually not too much of a problem for Apple hardware users, but this kind of does, kind of violate that. That's something that historically, and for the most part, it's become a staple of Apple, is to support devices long term. So this kind of sucks. Hopefully it doesn't impact too many of you. I know a lot of people upgrade pretty frequently, every 2 to 3 years for like iPhones, but I would say that some of the computer stuff and then the TV and watch OS, that's kind of interesting. That might impact more people. We'll see when that does come to fruition and if we get official news in the near future. And the last story is again out of Apple. In this case, Apple Disney CEOs are going to be meeting to discuss about China. China is a very large addressable market for a company like Apple, where their phones and other devices are very popular, and it's a really important market because business segments within electronics need to thrive in China to be competitive internationally. So according to reports, House members are going to be attending meetings to discuss the Chinese Communist Party, or the CCP, and how these companies are going to operate business within the confines of that country. I also noticed that in the story they were talking about additionally production coming here to the US, and that would be huge. Now there's a couple things to worry about there. The more electronics that are made here in this country, in the US, productions of Technoid, is stuff is going to get more expensive. The advantage to having productions as China is the wages are much lower. So that to me could be concerning to the pricing and the bill of materials when it comes to the assembly and the building of different types of Apple devices. So if more production comes here to the US, that would be a boom for the US economy, but it would also probably make stuff more expensive. So you would expect a price bump from the new iPhone. You would expect a price bump from different types of computers and other electronics that Apple makes. But we'll have to see, right? Displays, microelectronics, different types of, semiconductors. As those things start to change in their production locations, it's probably going to have a cascading effect across the industry. We'll see if this meeting has any type of, major impacts in the near future. I know that Taiwanese chip makers are also involved in this, but we'll see. I don't think we'll hear anything soon because this does seem preliminary. It's just meetings, but it is something to monitor closely. I know I wouldn't want to pay more for an iPhone, and you probably don't want to pay more for an iPhone either. It would definitely have a rippling effect throughout the industry. All right, folks, so that's the episode of Technoid. Hopefully I did a good job. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, give this video a like and share it to other people. And of course, don't forget to comment and tell Technoid and tell Mike how horrible of a job I did. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope he enjoys this break away from the channel and productions. And I hope you guys have a great weekend and an excellent holiday week, and enjoy the springtime cheer and enjoy your tech. Thanks for watching, everyone. We shall see you all in the next episode of Technoid. Peace.